A quiet corner of the old library, dust motes danced in the shafts of light filtering through grimy windows. Evelyn's fingers brushed against a worn leather cover with a cracked spine. This journal belonged to Mr. Hargrove, the town's elderly historian renowned for captivating tales steeped in mystery and folklore. She opened it. The scent of forgotten stories enveloped her, igniting her curiosity. The pages were yellowed and fragile, each entry rich with details about a ghostly figure known as the Jumper. A legend whispered through generations spoke of this shadowy entity that leaped across rooftops and bridges, to appear before calamities struck, fires, accidents, or missing persons vanishing without a trace. Ran down Evelyn's spine. Something alluring yet ominous lingered within this tale. Her heart raced as she read on, each sighting detailed by Mr. Hargrove, pulsating with life, vivid descriptions of those who had witnessed the Jumper darting into darkness just moments before disaster befell their town. Explicable connection formed within her a desire to uncover more about this specter haunting her home. Unable to contain her excitement, she rushed out of the library to find Jacob lounging against an old oak tree outside, absorbed in his phone. His skeptical nature often grounded Evelyn's wild ideas in reality, but today she needed him by her side for what lay ahead. After sharing tales from Mr. Hargrove's journal, Jacob rolled his eyes but reluctantly agreed to join her investigation, if only to keep an eye on her adventurous spirit. He chuckled softly at her eagerness, while dismissing any notions of paranormal encounters as mere urban legends spun from fear and imagination. They wandered through town later that evening. Whispers from local residents echoed around them, tales of unsettling noises piercing the stillness at night, and shadows flitting across buildings like fleeting memories lost in time. With each story shared among them, anticipation wrapped around Evelyn like a warm blanket, while Jacob remained firmly planted in skepticism. Dark clouds gathered overhead as dusk approached. An electric chill swept through the air, hinting at storms brewing on the horizon. That moment, Evelyn felt an overwhelming sense of urgency, a need to witness whatever lay hidden within those shadows above. Determination etched across her features. Jacob toward their destination. Abandoned rooftop overlooking the heart of town, where rumors spoke most frequently of sightings, the perfect vantage point for observing this elusive Jumper. The sun dipped below rooftops, casting elongated shadows all around them as they climbed higher toward uncertainty. Although apprehension lingered beneath Jacob's calm demeanor, he followed closely behind Evelyn, nonetheless two friends. Twined in fate's web woven tighter with every step taken toward unraveling dark secrets hidden high above their heads. Upon reaching their perch under heavy skies laden with moisture, rumbled distant promises, deep inside darkened clouds swirling ominously above, while wind whispered warnings brushing past them eerily like touches from beyond eternity itself. As the storm brewed overhead, Evelyn and Jacob perched on the rooftop of an old, creaking building. It was thick with tension, charged by excitement and fear. Dark clouds rolled in, casting eerie shadows across the deserted streets below. They settled into a small nook to watch for any sign of the legendary Jumper. Evelyn's heart raced as she recalled tales from Mr. Hargrove's journal, stories of fires that razed homes after sightings, of people vanishing without a trace following encounters with the ghostly figure. Jacob, beside her, tried to suppress his unease with logical reasoning. He reminded himself that legends were often exaggerated. Yet even he couldn't shake off the feeling that something extraordinary might happen tonight. A wind howled around them as they discussed past tragedies linked to the Jumper's appearances. Every mention sent shivers down their spines. They leaned closer together for comfort, as darkness enveloped them like a thick blanket. The first drops of rain began to fall, punctuating their conversation with soft patters against the rooftop. Suddenly, just as a flash of lightning illuminated the sky for an instant, they spotted a shadow flitting between rooftops on the opposite side of the street. Evelyn gasped softly. Her instinct screamed that this could be what they had come to witness. A figure moved with an unnatural grace, leaping effortlessly from one building to another before disappearing into obscurity. Jacob's skepticism wavered as adrenaline surged through him. He felt both terrified and exhilarated at having seen what he once deemed impossible. A roll of thunder echoed ominously overhead, vibrating through their bones and pulling them back into reality. Moments later, there it was again, a silhouette darting across a bridge illuminated by sporadic flashes of lightning. Swiftly, yet seemed almost ethereal in its motions, just a fleeting glimpse, but enough to send chills down their spine. Evelyn clutched Jacob's arm tightly. Uncertainty clouded her mind while excitement fluttered within her chest. He couldn't deny what she had just seen, or rather felt deep inside herself. Something significant was unfolding before them. They watched in awe mixed with dread. Electric tension crackled in the air around them, an omen perhaps. Something foreboding seemed ready to unfold beneath that stormy sky. It felt like fate itself was stirring in anticipation. Or what seemed like hours, but only minutes passed under swirling clouds when everything changed. The atmosphere thickened further still as distant sirens wailed through rain-soaked streets below. With hearts pounding loud enough for each other to hear over nature's symphony raging around them, Evelyn and Jacob exchanged worried glances filled with unanswered questions about destiny entwined within those shadowy leaps across rooftops. Their adventure was far from over as thunder rumbled menacingly above once more, as dawn broke. Next day, a silence enveloped the town. The air felt thick with tension, as if it were holding its breath after the stormy night. Evelyn and Jacob walked through the streets, their minds still reeling from the shadow they had glimpsed. News spread quickly about an accident at a nearby construction site, where scaffolding had collapsed moments after their encounter with the jumper's fleeting form. Evelyn's heart raced as she processed the implications of that sighting. Her instincts told her that this encounter was no mere coincidence. Determined to uncover more truths about this spectral figure, she urged Jacob to visit Mr. Hargrove again. The elderly historian's knowledge of local lore might hold answers to questions swirling in her mind like leaves caught in a gust of wind. Arriving at Mr. Hargrove's quaint cottage, they were greeted by an aura of warmth despite the chilling reality of their recent experience. Dusty books lined shelves filled with history. Each spine seemed to echo forgotten stories awaiting discovery. Mr. Hargrove welcomed them with a knowing smile, his eyes twinkling beneath bushy eyebrows, an invitation into his vast reservoir of knowledge. Without hesitation, Evelyn dove into inquiries about the jumper and its connection to disaster, while Jacob stood back slightly, with cautious curiosity, as tales unfolded from Mr. Hargrove's lips like threads weaving through time. Mr. Hargrove recounted sightings throughout generations, the jumper appearing before calamities struck without fail. There's engulfing homes, accidents leaving families shattered in grief, all marked by this shadowy figure's presence, hovering above them like a dark omen veiled in mystery. His voice deepened with gravity when he revealed how some believed those who witnessed the jumper were forever changed, marked by fate itself for better or worse, destined to carry burdens heavier than before their encounter. Caught up in fascination and fear, Evelyn found herself teetering between disbelief and acceptance, a clash of destiny both inviting and terrifying. Inspired yet unsettled by these revelations, she impulsively suggested returning once more to confront whatever entity lurked among those rooftops under cover of nightfall. Jacob hesitated momentarily, doubt flickered across his features, before he nodded slowly, reluctantly accepting this journey into uncertainty alongside her adventurous spirit once more. Dusk settled upon them later that evening. Anticipation coiled tightly around Evelyn's chest, while shadows danced playfully along cobblestones beneath flickering streetlights, a rhythm hinting at something waiting beyond comprehension itself. Navigating familiar streets leading toward their rooftop perch heightened their senses further. A palpable energy crackled within each step, taken closer towards uncovering secrets hidden high above amidst whispers threading through air. Laden with unease, a storm loomed nearby. The sky churned ominously as thunder rumbled softly overhead, while flashes of lightning illuminated silhouettes darting between rooftop edges. Eerie forms shrouded in darkness began materializing amongst billowing clouds, gathering above once again as the storm raged overhead. Evelyn and Jacob returned to the rooftop that had become a symbol of their unfolding adventure. The air crackled with electricity, mingling anticipation and dread in equal measure. They stood at the edge, peering into the swirling darkness where shadows danced as if alive. Evelyn felt a magnetic pull toward the precipice, her heart racing wildly against her chest. Memories of Mr. Hargrove's tales echoed in her mind. A blend of terror and enchantment washed over her like rain from the tempestuous sky above. He sensed the jumper lingering just beyond her sight, waiting for them to take this final step into the unknown. Jacob hesitated behind her, his rational mind wrestled with innate trepidation. And he couldn't ignore Evelyn's unwavering determination that glowed like a beacon amidst swirling doubt. Drawing a deep breath, he stepped closer, unable to resist the bond forged through shared experiences, their fates intertwined in ways they could not yet comprehend. A wind howled around them, carrying whispers from another realm as they awaited whatever revelation fate had in store. Thunder crashed overhead like celestial drums heralding an ancient prophecy, while lightning illuminated fleeting glimpses of figures flickering within dark clouds, an ethereal curtain concealing secrets waiting to be unveiled. Suddenly, Evelyn's breath caught in her throat as she spotted a silhouette emerging through smoky wisps above her head. A jumper hovered there momentarily, its presence, both chilling and strangely calming, enveloped her senses like a shroud woven from shadows. Year faded into awe as time seemed suspended around them. Everything fell away, except for this haunting encounter, transcending their understanding. In that instant, visions flooded Evelyn's mind, images flickering across her consciousness, depicted disasters intertwined with moments of hope. Flames licking at buildings, followed by faces smiling amidst ash echoes of sorrow, enveloped by warmth radiating through lost streets, filled with laughter once more after devastation had passed. It was a tapestry of existence unraveling before her eyes, fate itself weaving together threads both light and dark. Just then, rolled ominously once again, sending vibrations coursing through their very beings. The world felt alive beneath them, yet fragile enough to shatter if they dared reach out too far toward what lingered just beyond comprehension. Every ounce of courage she possessed, Evelyn extended her hand toward the ghostly figure hovering near her, an invitation born not out of fear, but rather an insatiable curiosity urging connection between realms separated by time and space. In response to this gesture filled with wonder rather than desperation, something shifted in the atmosphere surrounding them. Shadows folded inward, revealing deeper layers hidden within eternal night, until finally coalescing into form. The jumper stood before her, fully visible now, a spectral embodiment swathed in darkness, yet shimmering softly along edges kissed by ephemeral light. Evelyn could feel Jacob's presence beside her. It was comforting yet grounding against all surrealism unfolding before their eyes. The apparition loomed nearer still. She realized acceptance lay within herself, not only towards this otherworldly encounter, but towards life's unpredictable nature, where destruction met renewal, constantly reborn despite calamities faced. So they stood together, two souls on an edge, gazing into infinity, filled with mysteries unfurling endlessly beneath stormy skies laden heavy with unspoken truths, waiting patiently for discovery among whispered legends lurking ever closer.